Hello and welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers Lore. Today, we're going to be discussing none other than the weapons of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers themselves. Now, this is going through the entire series in order of their reveal of what they used, how strong they were, and, well, what happened to them after the fact. In Power Rangers, every season they have an array of weapons set out there to fight the forces of evil. Now, usually it's kind of the same setup here. They all have their specialty weapons, and then they all have their random-the-mill sidearms and the like that grows up over time. They all have their special bikes and the like. So this video will be talking about all of that. We will not be talking about their morphers. We will not be talking about their Zords, but just the main arsenals that they have. Starting this out, we'll be talking about the Blade Blasters of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1. Now, this had three different modes. It had a small sword mode, a ray gun mode, as well as a little special mode going on there, known as Stick Mode. Now, they were only ever killed one monster, but also destroyed Billy's evil copy in another episode. So, they are strong, but they're not overly strong. They're basically just a run-of-the-mill laser blaster or ray gun, whatever you want to call it there. They do have a special tower formation where they jump on the shoulders of their fellow Rangers in a 3 at the bottom, 2 at the top. They aim their guns kind of at each other. It forms like a special pentagram ball of energy that sends out and destroys sometimes your enemies. Not very often, but it does happen. The Red Ranger used it in his attack, his single attack, to destroy those sort of evil that the Green Ranger had at the time when he was under the influence of darkness. However, there's during different times that while the laser strength is very strong, it's proven ineffective, such against when Tommy was evil and used his Dragon Dagger to power up his Dragon Shield to deflect the incoming fire, and basically didn't do anything at all to him. Now, Tommy was able to receive one of these special blade blasters, but he never actually used it in the entire series. You can see it on the side where his stolen Dragon Dagger is eventually taken away. He gets a white holster for it, and just never draws it and uses it. He just kind of just throws fists at people, and that works. Now, these stay through the entire series and will continue on until Ninja gives them the new Ninja Power Coins. At that point, the Blade Blasters are rarely used at that point from there on out. And then from most of the rest of the series, from continue on, they do have little side blasters, but they're not as used as their main weapons. Following them would be the next sidearm they would get, which would be called the Thunder Slingers. It's kind of a combination of the ray gun they had normally, but also additional, like a sling, essentially, but it slings out balls of energy. Now, these were guarded by Titanus, the carrier Zord, who, after Jason and Tommy figured out they had to work together, retrieved the 5 super weapons to give it to the Rangers to help defeat the next monster. They use them every once in a while, but it's very sparingly. It's kind of like a useless weapon. It was kind of cool to see them put them in, a new marketing item, but they're used in several different episodes, but that's kind of it. They go Thunder Slinger, and then it has the same effect, in my opinion, as the normal Blade Blaster. There is no special tower formation or anything else. It's just the Thunder Slingers. Now, the only difference is that they also do not change shape like the Blade Blaster, which has the sword function, the staff function, and the stick function, as well as the blaster function. This one just has the normal blaster mode going on there. Now, in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1, there are the power weapons, such as the Power Sword, the Power Axe, the Power Lance, the Power Dagger, the Power Bow, and then the Power Blaster when they are all assembled together. Other than that, I've already done a video about this, so essentially you should already know a little bit about this. If you don't, you can go back and review that video of talking about the different weapons and their different names that they did have in one episode. Now, they all combine to create the ultimate weapon known as the Power Blaster, but that is the ultimate weapon that used in their normal form, and extremely is overpowered in my opinion. It basically once put together, they're basically going to take on most enemies. Now, it has happened in the past that they've had the attack blocked back at them, or something has happened where they got deleted. But in the end, though, usually when they're defeating an enemy, the Power Blaster takes care of most issues. However, the main issue is of it, you have to assemble all 5 pieces of Exodia to be... Oh, wait, no, sorry, I got that all confused. All 5 pieces of the different weapons together to form it. But most of the monsters just let it happen. And they go, okay, cool, you're not going to destroy me. They immediately get destroyed, and then they go to giant mode. So, it's good, but, it doesn't prevent them from going non-giant. Now, the Dragon Dagger is the personal weapon of the Green Ranger. As we all well know, it is probably the coolest. Everyone wanted this weapon as a kid, and it has the ability to play a flute. Now, in the comics, it is explained that you necessarily don't need to take the mask off to breathe on it to make it play the music, but more just think about it, and it actually plays the melody that you want it to do, which is really cool. The Dragon Dagger is used to basically control none other than the Dragon Zord to summon it from the ocean. Goldar, when he stole it, used it against the Rangers themselves. It's a very interesting weapon. It has a lot of different possible uses. It can create its own, basically, blasts of green energy, and can often be coupled with the Red Ranger's Power Sword for even stronger blasts of energy. It's pretty awesome there. Going throughout the entire series, he uses it on different occasions to summon the Zord, and can use it to fight against most of the villains. While he has his sidearms, he doesn't really use it, relying more on the Dragon Dagger than anything else. Now, after they all lose their powers, they all lose the special abilities of their power weapons. However, eventually, Tommy would have his restored through some unknown means. Like, it's explained that he did, but it's not explaining how he did it, besides tapping back into the Morphin grid. Now, the rest of the Rangers would receive back their special little weapons as time goes on through unknown means again, connecting to the Morphin grid for time period, such as, remember when Adam would giving advice to Carlos and basically puts back on his Mastodon armor and it almost kills him. Well, eventually they are able to get that armor back in later episodes and seasons, such as in Super Dino Charge or in some other later series where it doesn't seem to affect them at all. They're completely fine and stable transformations. How this happens, completely unknown. It might be some time travel BS, or it could be just some poor writing techniques. Probably poor writing in my opinion, but hey, whatever. We got the Power Rangers back. Now, not at first thought to be an actual weapon, but is able to be transferred around apparently later in the series, was the Dragon Shield. Now, we just thought it was the cool add-on piece of the Green Ranger. He had to stand out from the rest of them, so he get the cool little shoulder pads and chest protector. And we're like, that's really cool. The Green Ranger looks awesome. But then we found out he can transfer it over to different Rangers, and does on several occasions. Jason wears it. Zach wears it. It's pretty awesome. Now, how does this happen? Well, originally, after Tommy loses his power, he gives the coin to Jason, and who basically is able to use it, and it gives him the Dragon Shield, and enables the Rangers to control the Dragon Zord using the Dragon Dagger function again. Now, when he gets his powers back, he's able to restore this, eventually going on. However, that does not prevent him from just going, here you go, you need it. Here you go, you need it. Now, what else is its function? Well, it's able to take tremendous blast that we talked about earlier in the series of this episode, where basically Jason was shooting at him and he was able to charge up and become invulnerable for a couple minutes there, taking the blast and or several other attacks without having any issue. Now he gives it to her, it's a little power up for both the Red Ranger and the Black Ranger, and they kind of kick butt from there on out. Now it doesn't have any function currently anymore, sadly, because Tommy is able to jump between all his different forms currently with his Master Morpher, but it's still a cool function to see. Now, we're on to the other weapons that has been used by Rangers as time go on. And the next one is the Anti-Sonic Foam Gun. Yes, that weapon that was created by Alpha 5. And if you guys don't remember this, well, I'll quickly explain it to you. It is basically just it's a fire extinguisher. The fire extinguisher was not used to put out fires, but instead puts out the Grumblebee's sonic attacks, immobilizing him long enough to be defeated. Grumblebee had a lot of sonic attacks, and the foam gun just prevented sound from basically getting out. It just clogged up his mouth and everything else and prevented him from doing what he does best, grumble and cause untold just devastation. However, after it is used, it is never used again. Wow, they kind of need to bring it back against any Sonic enemies that there's going on there. Now, I don't know if you guys have been watching the new season of Dino Fury. There's too many Dino names, so I get confused sometimes. They are doing a lot of callbacks of different weapons. Now, this would be a cool weapon for them to bring back and talk about and go, oh, we're dealing with a Sonic enemy. Here, we'll use this, and this will prevent them from actually attacking us. Just letting you know, it's a good idea, Hasbro. Now, we're going to go into the two vehicles that we mentioned because they are weapons and they are used. The first one would be the battle bikes. Yes, the battle bikes. Everyone gets a battle bike. Who doesn't like a battle bike? It's pretty awesome. Actually, not everyone gets a battle bike. Only the blue, red, and black get... Well, sorry. Let me reread this again. Everyone but Kimberly gets a battle bike. Now, what are they? Are they cool? Are they bad? They're pretty awesome. You actually can see them pretty easily if you look in the special pictures I have posted up here. Now, in the actual TV series, they're never actually officially shown. As far as I can tell, it is more of just a marketing mean and used for Sentai. A lot of people said, well, why do we need bikes if we just teleport everywhere? And even in the new Dino Fury series, they even say, why do we need a bike if we literally just teleport anywhere? Well, he goes, it's also battle armor, and essentially, so that's kind of like a good idea there. Hey, this could be a good idea. Show up, you get an extra armor blast, some extra firepower. Good job here. But, you know what? We'll not use it as in actual effective uses. They're based off the dinosaurs themselves, and sadly, I think basically the yellow and the pink ranger only get the sidecars in truth. So, you know, yeah. Yikes. Now, the other thing that we do have is the Rad Bug. Yes, the Rad Bug, the remote activated driving Zord for basic ultra, oh god, geomorphonology. They could have just left that last part out and named it something else. Geomorphonology. Geomorphonology. I just want you guys to say that. Geomorphology. Geomorphonology. So Radbug, we're just going to call it Radbug from now on because we're saying the full name. Remote Activated Driving Zord for Basic Ultra Geomorphonology. Who sold that idea as that? Like Radbug, I go, oh, that's pretty cool. It's basically a beetle and it's got to look cool. Radbug. Now, it is a Volkswagen Beetle capable of flight built by Billy. Now, when I saw this, I was going, Billy, why are you still in high school if you're able to build flying cars? Like, really? Now, it is used primarily by the Rangers in the battle against the Green Ranger. And it's used in several different things from there, though it is built way before then. It is used as Green Ranger has damaged their teleportation system, so they have to do something there. Now, it has the ability to go from 0 to 3,000 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. Why is Billy still in school and struggling in high school? What is going on here if he's able to create that? This man needs to be someplace else. Now, it is not used for a little bit until later on when they realize that they have to go get the power eggs that were created by the Morphing Masters by some unknown means, and they use it to track down, Rita and her minions who have captured a little girl and are forcing her to release the power eggs. Now, it makes another appearance in the series, more of actually the comic book series, where it basically fights against Lord Zed's monsters and the like, and they had to do some other stuff, complicated things here and there. I feel like there's some other appearances that I'm not listing here, but it not used as often. They do have teleportation and the like, and it's always stored usually inside of Billy's garage. Now, that is the main inventory arsenal of the Power Rangers currently to date for Season 1. Now, in Season 2, it gets a little more expanded, but not by much. Now, in Season 2, we get a new Ranger as the Green Ranger's powers are officially gone and used up, and we get none other as Tommy taking on the role of the White Ranger. Now, in this, he gets a new weapon, no longer has a Dragon Dagger, but instead now has Saba, an enchanted sword wielded by none other than Tommy Oliver, who is able to talk and has his own personality of the like. We don't know very much beyond like where this Saba idea came from, but we do know that he's smart, he's entertaining, and at first he clashed with none other than Tommy Oliver at first because they didn't see like eye to eye as points. Well, mainly because he was a short sword. But hey, whatever. Now, I'm not going to go into full details because he deserves his own video and the like, but he is a really good weapon to be used against the forces of darkness. He helps control the White Tiger Zord and is able to help advise Tommy on different things. And now in the movie, he has a ability to levitate on himself, defy the laws of physics by doing so, and then shooting laser beams out of his eyes. And has come pretty quick-witted, ideas there. So, where is he now? Well, technically speaking, after the White Ranger powers were gone, he leaves, but after Tommy's able to restore the connection to the White Ranger and with his Master Morpher, he's able to bring back Saba. Now, in another universe, Saba is basically killed off, but that's for another video. Whew. Now, we know we had the Power Blaster in Season 1. Well, now we have the Power Cannon. Yes, the Power Cannon. And it basically is a super large, over-the-top, black and gold bazooka with the head of a Chinese dragon, which shows a powerful blast of energy and basically destroys everything. Now, at least 3 Rangers need to hold up, but usually all of the Rangers, even Tommy himself, is used to hold up as well to fire it. Now, it is not used very often in the series. I think only once, maybe twice. I want to say it's only once that I actually saw it in a long list of episodes, but it was used to basically take out that enemy once and for all. And it was, I feel as though why it wasn't used, it's huge, it's massive, it's unwieldy. It's not like it can be taken apart from the other weapons to use to fight your power weapons again. It's basically put on their shoulders, they're straining to really hold it up and have to fire and aim it. It's not that practical a weapon, but if they have to go through something that's not really fast moving, it's the perfect weapon to take care of it. The Power Cannon will wipe it out. Now, some of the other weapons they used were pretty interesting. Now, here's one. Now, it's called the Fire Extinguisher. Yes, the Fire Extinguisher. Now, this is a white and blue tube that projects mist capable of extinguishing the fire breath of a certain monster, used only once in the series, none other by Zack. Now, I don't know why they couldn't just use a normal fire extinguisher. They had to use a special fire extinguisher, but then again, it was against monster breath that probably burns hotter than anything else. Another weapon is the ribbon weapon. Ribbon, a long pink ribbon that, according to Zordon, could easily destroy the Bloom of Doom. I don't know how, but apparently it could. It is able to electrocute and fry enemies, but also can be cut by Trini with her power daggers. So it is basically, while being strong and being able to shoot electricity and the like, it is also able to basically be cut by other Ranger weapons. We don't know if it's able to be regrown. It's not used very often. It was kind of one of those cool, I'm going to use this ribbon thing. Yeah, that's kind of it. Now, in other videos, we've talked about the Sword of Power. Basically, go look up that video. It's a very honky-dory, I don't know how to explain it, but it's there. Yeah. The Mirror Shield. Yes, the Mirror Shield. You know, that blue Triceratops shield thing. Well, it doesn't look like a Triceratops. It just has a Triceratops symbol on it. It looks like it was made for Billy. But, yeah. Yeah, it's a mirror shield that functions as a mirror shield. You push a button, it opens up the top, the front flaps open up, it reveals a mirror. And it, yeah. It stopped the monster of the week, basically, from being able to capture Jason and release the Rangers by accident because of that. But I don't know why Billy's insignia was on it. I really don't. It's that's kind of it. There was no explanation beyond it. It's like, it's the mirror shield. Yeah. After that is the Mega Heater. Now this is pretty cool. It is basically, a lot of people call it like a Star Wars style blaster, which means it's from World War II. Basically think of like a Stormtrooper blaster that fires a red laser beam capable of heating up the insides of a monster. Yes. Yes. Well, they had to do that because the monster of the week had a really tough exterior, and the only one to beat him was from the inside out, and that's what they had to do. Now, the person who wielded it was none other than Tommy Oliver in his Green Ranger form before he became the White Ranger, and that was it. It's pretty interesting, but I don't know what happened to it after the fact. It's probably in storage somewhere, or got destroyed when the power center got destroyed itself. Now, next is the Sword of Light, another artifact that has the ability to transfer the powers of Rangers to other people, and that is for Season 2. Now, in Season 3, they don't really get many weapons per se. Instead, they do get a new form, which is their Ranger or Ninja Ranger powers. And it's kind of like a armor-based thing because they have like different color suits that go over themselves and their faces. So they're able to fight stronger than in their normal form, but less as strong in their powered-up Ranger form. It's a cool idea. I don't know why they don't just go right to Ranger form. It's not like they had a limit on how long they could be in their Ranger form at the time. But, you know, I'm not judging. We get to see them fight in their pajamas, essentially. Now, however, when Master Vile shows up, they have to go to a new type of fighting form. And since their ninja powers were coming obsolete, they had to create new armor, which is their metallic armor power-up, which isn't any different from the normal suits. They just have, well, looks glossier. It's like they just makes them look shinier and cooler and the like, I guess. There's no real difference. It just looks shinier. That's the real truth of it all. However, it enhances their speed, their strength, resistance to energy, or injury, and energy, and magical spells, and they have glitter and become shinier like Edward Cullen from the Twilight, but they're not vampires and they're Power Rangers and they're cooler. Now, that's basically all it does. It's just a little power up that they have, and you know what? I can't go against it. It's pretty awesome to look at. It makes them look like more stand out. So you know what? I'm okay for it. Now, the only other vehicle that they gain, and it's the pretty cool one, I don't know why they got them as sharks, though, is the Shark Cycles. They could have, I don't know why they went with shark format. It's almost like they stole it from another franchise and said, we're just going to put this in the Power Rangers thing. Yes, well, that's what happened, but hey, whatever. So there is the Shark Cycles, which is essentially the beginnings of the actual first time for Power Rangers to have their own motorcycles. And every series from then on out would have some type of motorcycle theme to them. Even up to the newest season of Dino Fury, they look back and go, oh look, even the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers had motorcycles, we'll make our own. So essentially, that's what they get. They create their own lightweight, powerful motorcycles, able to transport the Rangers at record time, even though they have the red bug that goes from 0 to 3,000 in the matter of 3 seconds. Woo! Now, each of them looks slightly different. The biggest differences is the black and blue Shark Cycles are based on hammerheads, while the rest are based on saw sharks, and then the white one is essentially a great white. So, you know what? It's kind of cool. They're just fast motorcycles. They look cool, and we don't know what actually happened to them after that. They kind of just like vanished. They were not used again. Probably destroyed when the power center was annihilated, and they had to go on to their next thing. Well, that is all for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Weapons, arsenal, artillery, everything you need to know about their special weapons. Now, there is probably a few little things that they used and grabbed up here and there, but they weren't that important to list off, in truth. If there's any of these items you want to see, let me know. I know I did have of the Billy driving around in his, basically, he didn't have a Shark Cycle, it was his original blaster bike, essentially, and it's pretty cool, but it's not very practical. Anything with a sidecar is kind of dumb looking. But the rad bug, where is that? I want to know, did Billy just leave it in his house when he went to space and left everybody? Because that thing needs to be brought back up. That thing is overpowered. Man, whew. Thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Power Rangers Lore. If you guys have any more requests, I'll be doing the rest of the, well, essentially Arsenal series of like what each season of Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I want to get all that done immediately. So there's that. Thank you guys for joining me. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. What is the one that you guys like the most? Which ones do you like the least? Where do you guys think the rad bug is? I don't know. Have a good one, guys. May the power protect you always.